Hey guys, so today we're going to be looking at more petty revenges. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. Performer didn't realize I was the manager. Some years ago, my partner and I managed a bar and we had live acts every Friday night. We had inherited a few bookings from the previous managers, but we honored the bookings. One night we had a comedian who before us had performed regularly at the bar. Anyway, at the time, I dressed like a student and had long dyed hair. The regulars all knew I was the manager and had no problems with my appearance. The comedian starts his act and spots me collecting glasses and proceeds to complain about his students. How lazy they are, look at this one, can't get a proper job, what's with her hair, etc. No laughter. So he carries on laying into me. I smile and continue working. After the set, I walk over to give him his cash and he's already got more days to book with us. The joy as I said, no thanks, I'm the manager and I will never book you again. Watching his face fall was beautiful. Oh, so satisfying. Yes. Why would he try so hard to be funny when his joke just didn't work? Like, move on. You know, if this joke doesn't work, move on to your next one. Seriously, don't try to revive the joke that made nobody laugh. What? He deserved it 100%. Like, I hope he knows he doesn't have to mock someone's appearance to be funny. Senior boy wouldn't stop abusing me, so I chucked his entire accumulative end of year report in the trash, causing him to fail. The title pretty much spells it out. The year I was a senior in high school, I was in the journalism class, writing and illustrating monthly for the newspaper. I was a neurospicy weirdo then, as I'm a neurospicy weirdo now, and thus an easy target as the lowest rung within the social hierarchy of teens. Whoa! Damn! This one boy in the journalism class was horrible. He would regularly call me names, poke at my appearance, spit in my hair, trip me as I walked by, openly got others to laugh my way, constantly and loudly belittled my work. He wouldn't stop. As we neared the end of the semester, with graduation a few weeks away, we had a huge final coming up, an accumulated folder that needed to include every single piece of work we had completed over the year. Absent work took off points. No work meant a fail. After a particularly shitty day of the boy picking on me again, I was the last person in class, ready to close up for the day, when I spotted his folder in our class workstation. I had been wondering how I could stick up for myself or get him back, and there was the answer right in front of me. Completely not fully premeditated, I stuffed his folder in my bag, walked out of the classroom, and then chucked it in the dumpster that was behind the nearby Starbucks. Without his folder plus his general slack of behavior, he failed the course and had to take summer classes to make up for the lost communications credit. Yo, deserved it. Seriously. If you're a bully, yeah, karma's gonna get ya. Imagine making someone's life miserable and then thinking you're gonna get away with it. I mean, you know what, though, most people do. Most bullies do get away with it. And that's the sad thing about society. But yeah, at least this person didn't get away with it. He made his own bed and then laid in it. Back when I was in high school, I was living in an apartment complex with my father and stepmother. One night I had a friend sleeping over. Both my father and stepmother were out and my friend and I were at the apartment alone. It was about 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. when there was a knock at the door. I opened the door and two police officers were standing in the other side. They pushed their way in and started asking us questions. Whose alcohol is that? My parents. Why do you have books on witchcraft? I like to study different religions. Before leaving, they told me that my neighbor complained that we were making too much noise and told us to keep it down. We weren't making noise, but whatever. About 30 minutes later, my stepmother came home and I told her about what happened. She said she would take care of it and told my friend and me to go to bed. The next morning, I asked my stepmother about what happened last night. She said that she called the cops on the neighbor for a noise complaint. The cops showed up and knocked on the door. The neighbor would only talk to them through the door and told them they would need a warrant before they would open the door. The cops left and they came back with a warrant. Upon entering the apartment, they found drugs. Not everyone in that group was of age. My neighbor was arrested for possession and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Wow, good on the stepmother. And this is actually the definition of mind your own business. Well, because they didn't mind their own business, now look what happened. You want to create drama? Then have it. Getting back at my ex-wife. My ex and I married young. I was totally devoted to her, and to be fair, she had a lot of love to give. The only problem was that she gave it to anyone, usually while I was away at work. She wasn't happy being with a broke college student and decided to F her way into another relationship that could provide her with more money. I came home early to find a dude old enough to be her father spooning his soft serve. I don't want to read that. I went to a lawyer the next morning and we got divorced less than a year after we married. I naively thought this would be the end of our interactions. We didn't have kids or assets to fight over, so we had no reason to ever see one another again. Except she wouldn't go away. Girl, just leave. You were caught cheating? Move on with your life, okay? Over the next years, she made my life miserable. My career took off and I started a small freight company. I wasn't rich by any means, but I was making a little money and the ex felt entitled to a cut. She would contact me at random times threatening lawsuits if I didn't give her what she was owed, as she put it. That's not how divorce works, of course, but she figured she could harass me into a payout to make her go away. I ignored her threats and negative social media posts, and they eventually dwindled down to occasional driving past my house on holidays when she was in town to visit her parents. A few more years go by. The loser she cheated with is long gone from a heart attack, leaving her to raise the kid alone. That was a bit of an extreme measure to get away from her, but I understand. She moves away to the other side of the state, and that could have been the end of it, but I decided to thumb my nose at her one last time. I learned through a friend of a friend that her kid is going to start Little League the next season. I'm a big believer in supporting youth sports, so I contact the league and sponsor team in her community via my company, which happens to include my first and last name in the title. The idea was that her team will play my team once or twice that season and should have to sit in the stands with nothing to do except be pissy about it. By some chance stroke of good fortune, I got even more than I hoped for. You see, players are drafted to teams at random. Guess who got assigned to the team I sponsored? Every game, every post-win pizza party, every time she watched her kids ski out, she was surrounded by a sea of uniforms with my name, transportation, emblazoned on the front in big letters. That was a good summer. Yo, he really showed her, his success. Now every single week, she's gonna be reminded that she left this person. And now she can regret it for the rest of her life. She could have had a good life. She could have had everything that she wanted. But now look at her. Look at her. But seriously though, I'm a big believer of sometimes you just need a little push. Or sometimes you just need someone to leave you to actually be successful. Seriously. Sometimes a petty revenge is all you need to be successful in life. Good luck finding your damn tomato soup. My brother frequently eats food that isn't his. My brother eats my baked goods without asking. Even then he knows I'm saving them for friends. I have talked to him about this, saved him extra food, and tried to hide whatever I make. Nothing has worked. Yesterday I baked an apple pie for Thanksgiving and then hid it in the guest room so he couldn't eat it. I'm not even sure how he found it, but he did. He saw me during lunch and mockingly thanked me for the delicious pie. There's now a giant slice cut out, about 1/4 of the pie, and my Thanksgiving contribution is now significantly less presentable. This was the last straw. During Thanksgiving, my brother usually handles the cranberry sauce and tomato soup, both of which come in your standard tin can. They are stored in the pantry with about 20 other canned foods, mostly my beans. I mark the base of each can with dots. The number of dots corresponds to what the food is, so I know which is which. I then tore off the label from every single can. The cans are now almost entirely identical, and there's no way to tell them apart. My brother is livid because he doesn't know which cans are his tomato soup, and he doesn't want to open 20 cans of food to find out. Pretty much everyone despises him for eating our food, so he has no clue who did it. He ruined my Thanksgiving contribution, so I ruined his. Yo, this is actually so petty, but I love it. This is the type of petty revenge that I'm looking for. It's just harmless in a way, but it gets them so mad. Well, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching. Hope you guys liked it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!